Hey, Alexa, play WVON 1690 AM.
Getting WVON 1690 AM station from iHeartRadio.
Try it out for yourself. America is listening to WVON.
The views expressed on our programs are not necessarily those of WVON, Midway Broadcasting Corporation, or our participating sponsors.
The following is paid programming. The views are not necessarily those of this station. We are the talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Now you official now, but you got a soul to say. I just been cooking that note. I'm about to drop in the few. Think if I call it the great, the people gon' call it the truth. Now you official now, but you got a soul to say. I just been cooking that note. I'm about to drop in the few. Think if I call it the great, the people gon' call it the truth.
All right, Bismillah Rahman Rahim, brothers and sisters. We are on the air. This is Straight Words on WVON 1690. This is the talk of Chicago. Every Tuesday night from 9 p.m. until midnight, we bring you black talk, some straight black talk. We are black, strong, unapologetically pro-Farrakhan. Let me introduce the crew to you. He is the editor-in-chief of the Final Call newspaper, the greatest newspaper on the planet. Our dear brother, Naba'a Richard Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum. How you doing, sir?
Wa alaikum salam, sir. I'm good. I'm ready to go, actually, man.
Yes, sir. We're ready to go. And we're ready to bring on our big brother, former chief editor of the Final Call newspaper, now a contributing editor. Of course, brother, been by your side for decades. Let's bring on the great brother James G. Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum. How you doing, big bro?
Wa alaikum salam, brother BJ. I'm a blessed man and highly favored, as they say, and just happy to be among the living.
Yes, sir. Praise God. Praise God. Brother BJ here. Y'all can get on, brothers and sisters, and join us. The conversation is going to be hot again like it was last week. 773-591-1690. 773-591-1690. The text line is open right now. You can get with the text line at 312-480-9775. All right, brother Naba'a, let's get it on, big bro.
Hey, brother BJ, before we start, can I just mention one thing real quickly? Yes, sir. Yeah, you know, brothers and sisters, they call this Giving Tuesday. And the purpose of Giving Tuesday is after you hopefully didn't spend all your money on so-called Black Friday and I guess Cyber Monday, that you've saved it for the causes that really matter, such as Straight Words on WVON, where you can make a contribution to your favorite, what they call charity. I don't want you to call us a charity because we're fighting for you. We're on your side. So today on Giving Tuesday, take a few minutes to give to Brother Naba's great program, Straight Words. Just go to straightwords.com, and Brother BJ will give you the rest of, at some point during the show, how you can contribute on Giving Tuesday to this wonderful show, and follow it up with Giving Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Every day is a giving day for Straight Words. So I just wanted to mention that, brother, so that we can make sure we put our name in among those that are in need of funding to help stay on the air.
Beautiful job, brother. You did a beautiful job. Straightwords.com on Giving Tuesday. Straightwords.com. We got several ways that you can contribute on our website, straightwords.com, and use that text line. You can let us know how you want to help us out by hitting the text line at 312-480-9775 on this Giving Tuesday, brother Naba'a. We're going to give you some good information, some good black talk too.
That's right.
Hey, brother, that's what time it is, you know. So I want to say, brothers and sisters, and my fellow hosts, it's really great to be back again this week. We got, I think, a pretty good show. Of course, we're going to start off in this first hour we want to talk about some of the news of the day. But then at 10 o'clock, we got a very special guest, and I mean really special. I want to have a sister from right here in Chicago who is going to share with us. She's coming on at 10. She's going to share with us her experience in becoming a dual citizen of the great country of Ghana. So we're looking forward to her telling us in the 10 o'clock hour, or sharing with us her experience, what it was like, what it means, why she do it. And this is a great city, right? Great sister, right out of the city of Chicago. Then at 11, we're going to bring back Brother Brian Muhammad, staff writer for the Final Call, and we will be dealing with some of the political developments in particular in Africa. You know, something about new leadership. And did you know that President Biden visited Angola? Did you know that?
Yes, sir.
Then what about this ceasefire between Israel, Hezbollah, and Lebanon? But let's get to some of the news of the day, brothers, and y'all can bring in whatever you want. But I got a few things. One is, here's the season for stress, debt, sadness, and strikes. So we managed to live through Black Friday.
Yeah.
And we managed to live through Cyber Monday.
Yeah.
We hoping we can get some blessings from Giving Tuesday. But them other days, brothers and sisters, and this whole shopping season that's being kicked off, right? It's anything but the season to be jolly. And why do I say that? And I wrote about an editorial in this week's Final Call. But now they're less than 26 days till Christmas, right? So you got a huge push from corporations for you to spend money. And so with that, it's a couple things, right? So there are costs to this thing, both financial and otherwise. So what am I saying? Think about this, okay? That there was one estimate. I haven't looked up how it turned out, but there was one estimate that between Black Friday and Cyber Monday, the American people would spend about $75 billion. $75 billion, right? So this is coming as consumers are already feeling stressed. In addition to that, they're still paying off holiday spending bills from last year.
Right.
And they're expected to go into holiday debt this year. You got workers, retail, and associated industries that are underpaid, overburdened, and expecting threats and abuses during the season to be jolly. Amazon workers went out on strike from Black Friday to Cyber Monday, and this was the fifth year of these protests and this worker resistance, not just in the U.S., but in India, Germany, France, Spain, the U.K., Italy and India, Bangladesh, and other countries. So I guess, brothers and sisters, the question that we need to ask is, what's going on here? Why are we still doing it?
Yeah.
When we can clearly see that Jesus, the Messiah, right, who the Christmas holiday is supposed to honor, has been pushed out for Santa.
Right.
And this kind of consumption and overconsumption, that I think, brothers, it's we can choose not to do that, and we can make a personal statement, a spiritual statement, and a political statement, and a statement of unity by holding our money in our pockets during this quote-unquote shopping season.
That's right.
Withdrawing our money from a society that refuses and that still oppresses us, that still doesn't give us what we should have, that still doesn't recognize our community, and that still targets us as the enemy. Yeah. So I think what we can do, this is something that the Minister Farrakhan has taught about, that the best thing we can give during this time, I would say, is really in accord with what Jesus in the Bible talks about, right?
Right.
Love ye one another even as I have loved you. Take care of the widows and the poor and the orphans, right?
Mm-hmm.
The best thing we can do is embrace that, keep our money in our pockets, and strengthen the human bonds between our families, between our neighbors, between our friends, so that we have that human connection. And I think I'll probably talk about that human thing a little later. But brothers, what are some of the stuff y'all are thinking about this whole tis the season for the spending?
I just mentioned on something that you just mentioned, though. It sounded like Jesus was more in line with Giving Tuesday, helping the poor, helping the people who don't have and really need. To me, that's what that sounds like. But I would also point to the final call, and just wanted to mention Mother Khadija recently celebrated her 80th birthday.
Yeah,
and she's looking as good as ever. And if you pick up the latest edition of the Final Call, which I encourage everybody to do, because if you do pick it up, it not only helps us as the nation to do our work, but the information in it is, I believe, critical for our people. And so pick it up, read it. But one of the articles is about Mother Khadija's 89th birthday celebration. Some great pictures is in it, pictures of the family. The minister has a huge family. So his legacy will live on into the future, into the hereafter. And there are also articles that are important, one of which I wanted to mention was the issue of education and the need for, not only black male teachers, but the need for our independent schools to be reinforced. And so if you pick up a copy of the Final Call, there are a couple of articles in there that deal with a black men's conference that was held in the Philadelphia area. And then it also has an article around how and why more black parents are continuing to use independent education for our children as we see the assault on just teaching black history. We really have to ask a very serious question, Brother Naba'a. If the school system and those in charge of the school system and President Trump is going to appoint somebody, and if he doesn't just eliminate the education department altogether, but someone who will definitely push an agenda where black history, the truth about the experience of our black people in America will be eliminated from the curriculum. So if we know that's at the root of the society, why would we continue to feed, as the minister said, our children to the killing field? So those are two things that I would highlight, and we could talk more about it. But those are two issues.
Brother DJ, you wanna weigh in on anything on your mind?
Yeah, just real quick. I was thinking this week. I said the lie has got to stop with one of these generations, and I said, our generation has to stop it. Continuing to tell our children the lie of some fat white dude from the North Pole is dropping gifts in our house, continuing to perpetuate white supremacy in the minds of our children. It's white people that give you things. And I remember I did a show when I was doing an afternoon show in Greensboro, North Carolina, and I said, Are y'all still telling y'all children that Santa Claus is real? Mm-hmm. And brother, when I started doing that topic, the receptionist came from the back of the building, and she was waving her hands through the window. So it's like, stop. The program director came. He told me, she said, don't you ever do that again, because these people were calling in and they were hot at me because I was busting up the Christmas, right? I said, wow, you mean to tell me we still that passionate about keeping the lie going to make our children feel like, well, I don't want to stop the tradition. You know, we did it, but your mom and daddy did. Why are you going to spoil these children's Christmas? And I just say, wow, man, we got. The question is, will we be alive when this lie stops? You know what I'm saying? When this just becomes a distant memory. But I don't think so. I think we just, you know, they spent $10.8 billion, Brother Naba'a. I think you was talking about the Black Friday and in online shopping on Black Friday. I don't know the Cyber Monday numbers yet, but we still spending that money, brother.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's go, Brother BJ. I think we got callers. I think Art is working. Yes, let's bring him in, and then we'll bring in Cliff.
All right. Go ahead, Brother Art. You on WVON. Talk to us on Straight Words.
All right. Salam alaikum.
Salam.
When you mentioned about the lie, that reminded me of Django when they were sitting at the table and the white slave guy said, "It's a lot of lying going on around this table." So I think we all got some mistruths that we have to straighten out among ourselves, because I've learned that when you speak on Christmas, that's an ideology. Christians got their ideology, Jehovah's Witnesses got theirs, Scientology got theirs, Mormons got theirs. Everybody got their own ideology on how they want to indoctrinate the men or women they're trying to move towards whatever direction. So I think that we do need a kumbaya. And then I would say I think we should get rid of the word unity. Black people should never use the word unity. It should be God, the black man, the black woman, black children, and it should be family. Unity has not worked for us. I think we're allergic to the word unity. I think family would be the best word to use, the black family. But unity, that's too much division among the even the Nation of Islam and Pan-Africanism. We fight over that. We fight over Malcolm X and their group, and everybody is fighting. But if we use the word the black family, because black people, most of us, of all of us, have some sense of what we call family. Something that I think we should consider. But here's a lot of lying going around. And I think all parties going to have to own up to whatever their reason why they kept certain things going for whatever particular reason, and come clean with black people and spend the money that we collect in our churches and our mosques to rebuild and give back to the poor and rebuild our communities and our family. I'll leave with that anyway.
Hey, all right.
Yes.
And in reference to family, though, does family implies at some sort of unity or cohesion?
Of course it does, but I think words are very important. If we even speak on Elijah Muhammad, even the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he sits down or he teaches in words and how we place them, how we use them, how we apply them in different times. Like we used to say the white man is the devil, but now he said we use the word open-ended. And then we will say the white man is the devil, but in the same token, some of us marry white women and men. Some of us have children. So either the white man or the white woman is the devil, or she's not the devil. Or we get to pick and choose who's the devil, who's not. So do I get to pick and choose what white person is good for me? You get to pick and choose. So it's a lot of things we got to come clean and straighten some. We got some housekeeping to do.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to point out that even in the definition of family, the word unity is implied, if not necessarily used. I understand you don't want to use it. I think. If you're looking at what unity means, of course, it's not, as they say, black folk are not a monopoly, et cetera. But to my opinion, there needs to be some form of cohesion or family, as you say, in a united way to at least achieve some of the goals that we're trying to achieve. But I appreciate your point. Thank you.
Last thing real quick. I'm glad that you see that. I think that if we don't learn how to move from a different space, we're not going to grow. I believe that principle should be the highest thing that we function. Not personality, not ideology, but principles. Because if we move with principle, family is based in principle. That's what God created. Family.
But sometimes family are just dysfunctional. But sometimes families are dysfunctional. But you want a functional family.
No, that's fine. See, white folks is dysfunctional. But let me say this real quick. See, it could be a black store in a white neighborhood and a white store, and Becky don't have to like Jennifer, but Becky ain't gonna never go to the black store because she knows that she identified with the white family. We won't go to the black store. We'll go to Becky's store because we identify with individuals, but we don't identify with the family in principle. See, they identify with principle. They don't like each other. But guess what? Their principle is we finna build the white family. See, that's their principle.
We identify
with personalities.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I wanted to say I think the use of the word family is fine. I think that the problem in the nature of Islam is not foster division with anybody. Certainly not with Pan-Africanists, certainly not with Christians, certainly not with anybody. The minister has spoken in churches, I would say the vast majority of the people that come out when he speaks are Christian.
Right.
So he's speaking to principles, and he's speaking to life, and he's speaking to love, and he's speaking to unity and family. So I don't think the problem is the word. I think the problem is the lack of our actualization of the use of the word. Because if you don't actualize it and decide you're going to make it a reality, you will continue to get what we get. It's somebody in somebody's family that's going to kill their family member during this Christmas season. They're going to kill them. So what does that mean? That means that there was a problem in the family, like there's a problem in the personal family, like there's a problem in the broader family. And Art talked about lies. Well, to talk about the truth of when Jesus was born and to talk about the truth about Christmas is to what? Expose a lie. Scholars have already agreed Jesus could not have been born on December 25th because all the signs you're talking about, the appearance of the star and the sheep being in the field, would not have been happening at that time in that area of the world. And we know that December 25th roughly corresponds with the winter solstice, which is like the shortest day of the year because these were not Christian celebrations. They were pagan celebrations. And they worshiped the sun. And so when they saw that the sun was going away, they would light bonfires and all of these things and candles and these things became traditional because they wanted to strengthen their God.
Yeah.
Now, I think once you present the truth, people can accept it or they can reject it. But I don't think that it stops us from being able to work together. Lastly, on the white families that don't like the white people that don't like each other, but they patronize each other. You could call it family, or you could call it white unity, or you could call it white supremacy, because they're talking about strengthening the power of white people to stay in the position that they're in. Let's bring Cliff in.
Yes, sir. Cliff, you're on WVON on Straight Words. Go ahead and talk to us, sir.
Yeah, assalamu alaikum, brothers. And I think, Brother Naba'a, you're right on point. And let me just share my experience, man, with you today. So I got my grandkids, and I'm walking at Home Depot, right? So they already got the decorations, and guess what I see? The big, tall, fat, white Santa Claus. Man, I just couldn't take it. Year after year after year, we see the same idols, the same imagery, and I just yelled out, we can't get a black Jesus. We can't get a black Santa. Well, no, seriously, brother. You know what I mean? Because
Yes, sir.
I didn't care if I got arrested. I didn't care if anybody pushed back. You know what I mean? I just yelled it out. So I'm like, DEI, diversity, about in this time we're living in, why can't there be a black Santa Claus displayed? But we ain't going to have that. But nevertheless, to your point, you get the white man with the beard, man, and we would take our grandkids, and then sit them on the lap of this white man and take pictures, and feel proud about it. So I'm saying this to say this is that then I go to the cash register, and then you have Time, Newsweek, so they give their religious perspective, and guess what? They got the Jesus, blonde-haired, blue-eyed white boy in the cover, and here we go again. So when you want to talk about self-hatred, and to Brother Art's point, when you talk about the community, man, and the self-hatred, not black racism, because that don't exist. We ain't got no power to oppress people. We got black hatred. We got classism. We got colorism in our community. These are elements, man, that are crucial in our community. We have no self-love, and so, in addition, in Connecticut here, we got a whole bunch of brothers, man. Either got a Puerto Rican girl or got them a Becky, and so, this is where we at. So if I could see Trump, and I can see, man, white supremacists celebrating the holiday, why the hell would I celebrate the same holiday? Brother, I'm done. But to see us and how we still get caught up in this is ridiculous. So, brother, last week we talked about the existence of God, right? And so I missed this segment. I don't know if these are recorded. I try to go back. But again, Brother Naba'a, in terms of creator, there's no question. And now I'll just give you my perspective and I'll hang up and you can challenge that if you want, based on what you said last week. But there's no doubt that there is a creator and there is a certain people that he created. That people is us. And then there is a divine individual. And I'm going to say it's that black Jesus. Matter of fact, there's a movie, I don't know if you gentlemen saw, it's called The Book of Clarence. That's the best black Jesus movie, man, I ever seen. And it talks about there is, and it could be possible that somebody can be divine, meaning that they have been inspired by the Creator and they can send a message. They have certain gifts and talents. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has that. He gets visions. God gives him visions about what's about to happen, what's coming. So I do believe in that. So all I'm simply saying is that we are those people, everybody else, and when it comes down to the enemy, yes, these certain people, man, were created to take us out. We just can't see it. So we wind up loving them rather than finding out who they really are, their true nature, and then defeating that, and then to the point where they got us convinced to hate ourselves. And that's where we at. The killings, the whole 9 yards, bro. And so we deserve what we get. And I want to, again, thank the Nation of Islam for its knowledge, for everything that they do. And bro, I'm just going to go with the nation. As a Christian, everything, I'm going with what makes sense. So, bro, please explain, if you can, the existence of the Creator. Is there a God? I do believe that there's another place prior to this. And when you die, you go with the Creator in that form of existence, if that makes any sense.
Yes, sir, Cliff. And I'm going to try to.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers. Thank you.
Well, alaikum salam. I'm going to try to keep this simple because we only got a few minutes. I'll say it like this. According to the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, there was a originator, a creator, who started this process of bringing everything into existence, right? And so he created life, right? Mm-hmm. But when he created life, he also created what? Death. So he submitted himself to the same law that he created and the law that he brought into existence, right? But what is unceasing is the mind, the will of the Creator, because what he wanted was for the creation to be perfected. It has not been perfected as of this time. But we are taught that will, that desire, that supreme wisdom, not the wisdom of this world, it far exceeds this world. And we are taught that this history, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, is written 25,000 years in advance in terms of what will happen, right? So this knowledge has been held by a very small group and passed down from father to son. You read in the Bible about, the 24 scientists, right? Or the 24 elders? Mm-hmm. Well, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches that these are scientists and that there is one who basically judges the work of the other 24, and that one is Allah. Right?
Right.
And so this process continues because certainly, like I said last week, if we know that the originator, or we know that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that the originator came out of the dark womb of space, and nobody knows how long it took because there was nobody there to record the process. But we are taught that this was a very painful process. And once the originator self-created himself, he looked inside of himself and saw a second self, the woman. And he brought that out of himself, right? So now the process of creation doesn't take eons and eons and eons of time. It can happen in 9 months, now coming through the womb of a woman. Mm. And that woman can now bear one that now has the potential to be God, the what? Supreme being. And as we said before, look up the words supreme and being. Right. Supreme meaning the highest, being meaning that which exists. Look up the meaning of the word divine. As an adjective, it means of, from, or like God or a God. Another word for God is force and power. Right? That's right. So these are some of the basics of what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches, and we don't have time to go into them, so I'm going to do something that my brother James Muhammad often says. Look, brothers and sisters, if you want to learn more about this, it's there for you. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad's books, you can get them at store.final call. They're almost giving them away, basically. Right. I think it's like $5. Yeah. Message to the black man. Our Savior has arrived. The fall of America. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad clearly explains these things. You can get lectures from the minister about who is God, the reality of God, who is the Messiah, who is the Mahdi, who are these prophetic pictures, who are these prophetic people. And should we expect Jesus of 2,000 years ago to return? Or should we expect someone fulfilling that role that is foretold of in the Bible and the Holy Quran? And of course, you're free to believe whatever you wish to believe, and we won't argue with you about what you believe. We will simply present the truth that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has presented. And you can get these lectures, brothers and sisters, on audio. I'm talking $2.50. Yeah. Like a two-hour lecture that's really like a seminar. Yes. You can get a $2.50. You can get a 3 or 4 hour lecture. In audio. Yeah. That might cost you actually $5. you can barely get a cup of coffee from Starbucks.
Coffee, exactly.
For $5.
Exactly.
So let's go, Brother BJ. We got somebody holding?
Yes, sir. We got JB on Straight Words on WVON. Brother JB, go right ahead and talk to us, big brother.
Okay, assalamu alaikum. How you guys doing?
Alaikum salam. How are you?
Good conversation. You know, when I was a young kid, I was in church, and I read the Bible, and I ran across that Jesus had hair of wool, feet of bronze. But that's not what they were hanging in the church. And so later on, I started, researching. I said, wait a minute, this brother was from the tribe of Judah. Let me do some research. So I found out who he actually was. He was an indigenous man. When the earth was connected, African America used to be connected, called Pangea, right? His name was Akhenaten, married to Nefertiti. You remember that song "Nights Over Egypt" by the Jones Girls? Nights Over Egypt. You ever heard that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember.
Mm-hmm.
The first verse says, "Then Akhenaten, he came with a smile. She was the queen, and he was the king under the moonlight."
Yeah.
And then I started researching. I started realizing that, he turned over tables in the temples. I said, wait, Jesus did the same thing. This is the brother written on stone, stone wall. This is where they get the Caesar, when he married Cleopatra, he wanted to take over the kingdom that Akhenaten created. Him and Nefertiti created the monolithic sun god. Okay? That was the brother from the tribe of Judah. That changed my world. I understand that everything even Abraham Lincoln was black. Everything we do, they want to take it. I understand because we were gifted. We're royalty. And they're naturally doing what they need to do. Like, man, I want to take that and make it my own. But that brother, I want y'all to do some research. That brother's name was Akhenaten, married to Nefertiti. That's where they got the story of Jesus from. A nappy-head man. That changed my world. Now I can do business in America, understanding his side of the story, his story, and my story. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And right now, man, they coming all out mixing with us. Millions of our brothers and sisters are mixing with all these foreigners coming to America.
Yeah.
Because the goal is 2029, they want to breed us out.
Yeah.
And it's going down big time.
Yes, sir. Good information, brother. We appreciate you calling,
brother. Thank you. Brothers and sisters, we are the original people, so teaches the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Right.
So what he teaches when we look at divine books, or when we look at our history, like the history of Akhenaten and the history of Egypt, we see prophecy still told in a different way. Now remember, what we get in the Bible was what was transcribed and interpreted by who? Our enemy.
Exactly.
So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad comes with a different interpretation that takes the scales off of our eyes. So we can now see, instead of being, I'm not in no way in opposition to what my brother just said, because the truth kisses and embraces itself.
Right.
And when you understand who you are, as my brother just said, learning the what? The truth. The lie being exposed changed his life, because now he knew now he knew his own story. And he knew the story of our enemy. So we can easily connect if we can recognize truth.
Right.
And if we understand that we need unity, we need family, we need commitment, we need sincerity, We need compassion. We need courage.
Yes, sir.
We need patience, and we need mercy with one another.
That's right.
Because we have shown all those things to everybody except one another.
Yes, sir.
So in this day and during this time, I would suggest we think about those concepts and how we can put them to work for ourselves.
Yes, sir. I was going to jump in there with Akhenaten when he said that Akhenaten, remember we learned that at the Million Man March, he said he was the first man of this history period to bring the people out of the worship of many gods into the one God. And that one God was symbolized by a sun disk with 19 rays coming out of that sun, with hands holding the Egyptian Ankh, the cross of life. So in that history period, what brother was talking about, read that research, go into that. That's beautiful, brother. We were taught that by the minister at the Million Man March, Akhenaten.
Yeah. So we don't, brothers and sisters, our ability to listen to one another and to hear one another, to understand one another, a willingness and determination to embrace one another. And then we can rise above differences. Hey, my son thinks differently than me on some things. That don't mean I don't love him. Exactly. We're not coming to blows because he sees the world a little differently than I do. Right? Because we are family, and I know that he has his journey as I have mine. You know? So it's great, brothers and sisters, to, and this is one of the things that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's teachings give you. They give you that mindset to sit down and first really listen to people.
Yes, sir.
Not that you're listening to respond, but you're listening to understand. And that's why we try to give people time to make their points, right? You know, so this is who we are. We're not nothing different. We basically roll the same way every week.
That's right.
With the exception of a couple things, and like I said, I think last week, the one thing that we're not going to allow, we're not going to allow anyone to come on this show and lie about the minister, right, or say things that are not true. No, that's not happening. Because if you got truth enough is boss enough to stand on its own.
That's right. Beautiful, brother. So, Brother Brian, we got a brother on. I know that's not Brian. I know we got Brother Brian coming on at 11. But we got about 3 minutes. You want to try to see if we can squeeze this brother in with a quick call?
Yeah, we got 2 minutes, though, right?
Yeah, we got about 3 minutes. Let's bring him on real quick. Brother Brian, you got to be 1 minute before we go to the top of the hour. Brother Brian, you're on WVON. Go right ahead, sir.
I was hoping, thank you, gentlemen. I was hoping I was going to be able to get in after the break. 2 minutes, okay. I'll be very...
I'll tell you what, Brother Brian, just hold, okay?
Yeah.
And we'll bring you back after the break, okay? Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Brother
yes,
DJ,
sir.
it's on you. Don't go nowhere, Brian.
Yeah, don't go nowhere, Brother Brian. We'll come back at you, brother. You're listening to WVON, brothers and sisters, like Brother James did earlier in the show. Brother James, I want you to go back into that Giving Tuesday. You did it so wonderful. I can't duplicate that, brother. Tell everybody about how Giving Tuesday is related to helping out straight words on this Tuesday, brother.
Yes, sir, brother. I'm just trying to sound like you, man, on the radio, brother.
Yeah.
But Giving Tuesday, man, you know, if I had more to give, I would. Because on Giving Tuesday is to help the programs that you feel that are doing something, not to take money out of your pocket to put it toward foolishness, but to put whatever you are able to donate towards something good for your community and our people. And that's what Straight Words does. Straight Words tries to take information and put it in a form where it can be understood by our people, and we can chop it up and come to some conclusions, hopefully, on what is the best way to go forward in, I'm going to use this word, unity and as a family. So if you want to move forward in unity and as a family, then go to straightwords.com and find out how you can help this great program. And Brother BJ will give you a number that will put you directly in touch with the creator of the program, Brother Naba'a Muhammad. Go ahead, Brother BJ.
That's right. So 312-480-9775. That's 312-480-9775. That's our text line. Communicate with Brother Naba'a and get your donation in to help out the show. Straightwords.com. Straightwords.com. Coming up, brothers and sisters, after the break, we're going to hear from Brother Brian standing by. But we're also going to talk about dual citizenship. How would you like to be a member of the of Ghana, and you can come back and forth from Ghana to the United States? We got Sister Dina who will tell us all about that coming up right here on Straight Words on WVON 1690, the Talk of Chicago.
The Talk of Chicago and the voice of the nation is 1690 WVON, Berwyn, Chicago.
I'm Terry McCready.
And I'm Kevin Brown on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Reaction is pouring in after President Biden pardoned his son Hunter.
He would do that.
We knew it was going to happen.
I lied. Biden said he wouldn't do it, and he did.
Of course. He's a liar. Lied about everything. Why wouldn't he lie about that?
I honestly really could care less.
Political experts say it's one of the most sweeping pardons in generations after the president pardoned his son for federal gun and tax charges. President-elect Trump was among those reacting, taking to Truth Social and calling the pardon an abuse and miscarriage of justice. He also asked if the pardon included those facing charges in connection to January 6th, which he called J6 hostages. Meanwhile, social media users are weighing in on Biden's action, with one commenter who posted on X that Biden doesn't owe us an explanation, but another post was more blunt, stating Trump is appointing people he pardoned. Sit down.
More of President-elect Trump's cabinet nominees are making the rounds with senators on Capitol Hill. Former Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi is Trump's Attorney General pick.